Welcome to Kickin' with the Rickens, redefining retirement. Gerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost want to help you plan with purpose and retire with joy. Find more information, including how to reach the team, in today's show notes. Now, Kickin' with the Rickens, powered by Ricken Financial.
Well, this week we are honored to be joined by licensed insurance professional Gerry Ricken. Thanks for streaming. As always, Kick In with the Rickens podcast, redefining retirement. As Big Voice just said right there, get all the information here in the show notes. My name is Mark Owens, and just a couple days removed. Late Father's Day conversation here. Gerry Ricken, how you doing this week?
You know, I'm doing better than I can imagine right now, Mark. Awesome.
So with Father's Day, it is behind us, but we want to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about being fathers, our dads, what you do every day, Gerry. And I think, you know, a lot of people wonder, what is it like as a businessman, as somebody working in the financial industry? You work with Heidi every single day. At what point did she go from being your baby girl, being your daughter, to being your business partner? Was there a moment where you can say, like, all right, that she's a professional now. Like, she's not just my baby girl, she's my business partner.
Well, you know what? She'll always be my baby girl because she is the youngest of the three girls.
Yeah.
And then they all have a little brother in Will. But Heidi she'll always be my baby girl, but she, you know, I guess it's kind of hard to pinpoint a date and a time when she became truly my business partner. I mean, we made it official a few years ago, but when she joined, I had this scheme all along that I wanted one of the kids to join me in business. And I knew it wasn't going to be Barbie because she's a pediatric oncology nurse, manager at Children's Hospital, working with the same doctors and some of the same nurses that treated our daughter Mary Beth that we lost. So I knew it wouldn't be Barbie because she has a passion in helping kids with cancer. And I thought maybe it would be either Heidi or Will. Will is very artistic and is actually Sheila, my wife's business partner. And they provide promotional products and branding solutions to companies throughout the country. And he uses his creative mind as well as his analytical mind to help her and be her business partner. So it was Heidi, and I focused on Heidi, and I said, okay, hey, Heidi, I'd like a little bit of help around the office. This is while she was in college.
Okay.
And while she was in college, she was working at Nordstrom Rack in St. Louis, and you know, and was just trying to figure out what she really wanted to do. She had, you know, a business background. First of all, she wanted to be a teacher initially, and then she's like, "Nah, I'm going to go in the business world." So she got a business background in college, and she's like, "Okay, what do I want to do with this?" Then she realized, you know what, I want to do something more in the lines of what Barbie's doing. I want to help kids, you know, who've lost someone in their life, and she decided to be a grief counselor. So she went into joined the master's program back here in St. Louis after K-State. After she left K-State and after 4 years, and said, okay, what can I do? I want to be a grief counselor. So she's like, I'm going to be a grief counselor. And then she started doing this stuff, and she went on her first internship as a grief counselor and figured out, you know, this isn't for me because they're bringing too much of her own grief. And she's like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to be happy. So I, at that point in time, kind of said, hey, can you come to the office and help me a little bit? And she's like, yes, that'd be great. I'll help you, but just to let you know, I'll never work with you.
Right.
And I said, that's fine, you know, but I knew all along, once she knew what Ricken Financial was all about and helping people, that it would feed her soul. And lo and behold, here we are. That was 17 years ago when she first entered the doors of Ricken Financial as a part-time employee, and now she's my business partner. So it's a joy each and every day to spend time with her and pick her brain. She picks my brain. We learn from each other and we teach each other. And it is kind of fascinating to see how, you know, I was once the instructor, now I'm the student from my own daughter. So, but it's fun. It's fun. We do learn from each other because she'll come up with ideas and I'll come up with ideas. We'll collaborate and say, what's the best, you know, what can we do for our clients? And that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, it is what Ricken Financial can do. What can Gerry and Heidi do to improve the lives of our clients?
Yeah. Is it hard to turn it off? Like we've talked about it before on the radio show and in previous podcasts as well, but I think it's worth noting that, once you exit and lock the doors at Ricken Financial, does it go back to father-daughter, or are you still business partners even on the weekends, even when you go out to dinner, even at family gatherings? Is it hard to flip the switch?
No, it really isn't. It really isn't, because we're interested. There's a difference between being interested and interesting. And I learned this a long time ago, that if you are interested, you listen. If you're interesting, you talk.
Ah.
And, and I liken it to, someone comes up and says, hey, I went to Las Vegas recently, and go, oh, I went to Vegas last week.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you're one-upping, but you're trying to be a member of the conversation. That's being interesting.
Yep.
Being interested would be, oh, what did you do in Las Vegas? How did you like it? Did you go to any shows? Did you do any gambling? You ask several questions, and that's being interested. So we like to be interested in our lives, Heidi and I do, and we ask a lot of questions. We spend time with the family, and we don't talk about what we do. We talk about what they're doing. What we want to know, what's going on in each family member's lives, and what they're faced with, and what's going on. What are their joys? What are their challenges? And just be people. We aren't business people when we're as a family unit. We do talk about clients, but here's how we talk about clients. Oh my gosh, Sheila, so-and-so, they just had a new grandchild. Oh my gosh, it's their fourth one. So those are the kinds of things we share about our clients. It's nothing ever work related, no numbers, nothing like that. It's all about the personal connections we have, because we do have personal connections with our clients, and we want to share those joys and those sorrows with our family, because they know them. Our family member, other members of our family know our clients as well. That's how we approach work outside of work, because it's not work, it's joy.
And I respect that you said that too, about we talk about our clients all the time, but we never talk numbers. The only number is how many grandkids are they up to, or what number cruise is this for that client too.
Exactly. Or, oh my gosh, they're hiking the Appalachian Trail together. I mean, it's those things that we share.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. RickenFinancial.com. Find all the information here in the show notes. As always, thanks for streaming Kickin' with the Rickens podcast. And I think it's safe to say, too, that would you consider Heidi like your succession plan? Because eventually, and I hope you do, I know you're never going to officially slow down. You're not going to be like a front porch sitter, but eventually you deserve to retire and step back just a little bit.
Mark, a lot of people say, well, when are you going to retire? Well, I have the opportunity to do travel right now, because I have such a successful and, intellectual and well-polished and mature business partner in Heidi. Mm-hmm. So Heidi can run the shop when I'm out. I can run the shop when she's out. I take vacations. She takes vacations. So, and I probably take more now than I have ever before, because I'm allowed that.
Yeah.
And the business will operate with or without me. I want to be involved as long as I can be involved, because I love what I do. And, we always preach to people, what is your purpose in retirement? And what's your purpose? And my purpose is just to help people, because this truly does feed my soul. Mm-hmm. I love what I do, and I do what I love. So why change that? I may step back occasionally, and take a trip here or there, or just take some time off, or, work in the garden for the day and make sure that the squirrels aren't eating all of my tomatoes to try, so those are the kinds of things that I do, that I can just walk away and take an afternoon off, do things like that. So it's not a retirement, but it's really cutting back a little bit. Mm-hmm. But there are also those weeks where I'll work 50 or 60 hours, because I love what I do, and we're having seminars in the evening, and we're doing things that I have a passion for. Yeah. And I have a passion for this. I have a passion for a lot of things. So I never worry about what I'm going to do on the weekend, because we had to buy another refrigerator because the honey-do list was too long for the first one. What I do is I spend a lot of time with the family. I spend a lot of time, working on things. I spend a lot of time cooking. I spend a lot of time doing the things that really feed my soul. But the thing that feeds my soul the most is just helping people and thinking about ways that creative ways that we can help people and maybe save taxes, for them, maybe make sure that they're not going to run out of money in retirement, make sure that if they want to leave a legacy, here's how much they can leave and what's the most effective way they can do that. Those are the things that truly do drive me on a daily basis. So, and yes, to answer that question, yes, Heidi is my succession plan, but that plan won't be kicked in anytime soon.
It's almost like you preach it every week, test driving your retirement. You help adults maybe take a step back, see what feeds their soul in retirement, and you're doing essentially the exact same thing, Gerry.
Well, I am. Just case in point, last November, my cousin Gerhard and his wife Helga were celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary in Germany. So Sheila and I said, we're not going to miss that party. Let's go to Germany. That's right. We spent a week with my cousin Wolfgang and Simone, his wife, and their 2 little kids. And then we went, that was down in Frankfurt. Then we went up to northern Germany where my family is. And I have lots and lots of cousins around there. So it was just a lot of fun. But those are the kinds of things that I can do. It is truly test driving, retirement because I can get away, but also keep my thumb on the pulse too. I mean, the way technology works today, I can check my phone every minute of the day if I want to, or I can leave it on the shelf. And, those phones seem to be a way to not get away, but I love the fact that I can get away if I need to. But I'm also available if Heidi ever needs me, because no matter where I am and vice versa, wherever she is in the world, we can communicate with each other.
So as we're talking catching up a little recapping of Father's Day, how do you like to spend, a weekend that's all about the dad? Do you like to, and I know you spend a lot of time with the family, y'all cook and grill out a lot at the house, and, you love being on the grill or being on the stove. Do you just enjoy doing that regardless if it's Father's Day or not? Or for you as a Father's Day is, hey man, I just kind of want to hang out and, maybe relax and do my own thing, maybe, watch the game, or like, how do you like to spend a Father's Day, Gerry?
I'm very uncomfortable being waited on unless I'm in a restaurant,
right?
And I'm paying for that. I'm very uncomfortable, oh, Dad, it's Father's Day. Let's cook for you. I love to cook. I love to cook all different kinds of cuisine. So I love to be in the fray, and but sometimes I do say, okay, you guys go ahead and do your own deal. But it's all about spending time with the family.
Yep.
Whether the family is just Sheila, or whether the family is Sheila and Barbie, whether the family is Sheila and Barbie and Heidi and Stephen and Will and Mitchell and whoever, and Will's dog Stella. We can't forget about Stella either, his handicapped dog. Just spending time with family is extremely important to me.
Yeah.
And however we do that is however we do that. Whether we go to a Cardinals game and sit in the bleachers and get sunburnt, because, some people forget to put sunscreen on. I'm raising my hand right now, even though I should. Or just hanging out in the back patio and having a couple beers and grilling out. It's just relaxing wherever you are.
I used to think,
or going on a rigorous hike and then going to a microbrewery in Waterloo, Illinois, and having a couple beers at the Stubborn German or Hopskeller, and having a pizza there, or having Shorty's barbecue. I mean, it's all about experiences, Mark. Yep. Experiences in our family are huge to us, and that's what we like to do with our clients as well, is have them experience things, through our client appreciation events, or when they just walk in our office and they know when they walk in our office, we're going to offer them something to drink and give them a hug.
That's right.
And when they leave, we're going to do the same thing. We're not going to offer them something to drink. We're going to point them probably where the restroom is. We give them a hug on the way out too. And when we see them in public, with their friends of ours. So it's all about client experiences and experiencing life and really sharing your joy of life. And that's what makes me tick.
I used to think back in the day, and my dad passed away. It's going on this winter. It'll be 10 years. He passed away of cancer. And back in the day on Father's Day, we used to say, Dad, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? How do you want to spend the day? And he would say, I want y'all, the boys. I've got 2 older brothers. I want the boys. I want their wives. I want the grandkids. I want everybody to come over to my house. And looking back on it now that I'm a father and a husband, And we would literally go to Dad's house where he would buy the ribs and he would be on the grill, and we'd jump into his pool and we would drink his beer as he's, slaving over the hot grill. And I'm sitting there thinking, every now and then you turn around and he'd just have his hands on his hips and looking around being like, this is nice. This is exactly what I wanted.
That's a beautiful thing, Mark. And my dad did the same thing. He always wanted us to come to him. Hell, I could go visit all you guys, but I couldn't get you all together. You come here,
exactly,
and we'll all be together and we'll have some fun. And my dad was a barrel of fun from day one. I think he came out of the womb laughing, and before he left us, he laughed, and that was almost 95 years. So he was the epitome of fun, a fun person to be around. So, and that's what. I try to think I modeled myself.
That's right.
Him.
Yeah, it's all about time. My dad taught me two big lessons. He taught me, number one, treat your cooler well, and your cooler will treat you well. That. But then as I get older, I realize he may not have said it verbatim, but the more I think back of Dad, I think about time. And I think that Dad taught me the power and how precious time is, because on Father's Day, on Sundays, on birthdays, all he wanted to do was spend time with the kids and the grandkids. He didn't need things. He just wanted time. And I hope to take that.
That's the one thing we can never get back is time. It keeps moving. And it's how we spend that time that will define our lives.
Yep.
And your dad is right. You spending time together is probably the most important thing you can do with people.
Exactly.
People you love.
And exactly. And my wife Gretchen and daughter Caroline, they're like, Daddy, because my birthday and Father's Day fall right on top of each other. And they're like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And I said, nothing. Let's go to the Mexican restaurant. And, I want to sit on the patio and have a big fat margarita or go elbow deep in cheese dip. And let's just giggle and laugh and everybody put their electronics away and let's just be. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, in the same vein, I do want homemade cards. I do want them to surprise me with something. Sure. I always
absolutely.
One of my 5 love languages is gifts. So I'm not gonna turn down.
You're going to deny that. You're not going to deny that.
Not going to turn that. But at the same time is what I want more than anything. Speaking of time, I think now is a good time to hit pause for this week. Gerry, appreciate you spending some time with us here this week on Kicking with the Rickens, Redefining Retirement podcast. You can get all the information. Meet Gerry, meet Heidi Ricken Provost, the entire team. You can put faces to the voices, see all the services they have to offer, rickenfinancial.com, or you can find it here in the show notes. We're back next week, but Gerry, a happy belated Father's Day to you. I hope it was the best ever. And with that being said...
Well, you know what, Mark? And a happy belated Father's Day to you and a happy belated birthday to you, since yesterday was your birthday.
Thank you very much. So I'm checks in the mail, right?
Yes. Okay. Well, actually, that homemade card is for that.
That's all I want. That's it. You know what? All I want is spend a little more time with you and the family in a Cardinals game. That's really all I want.
You know what? Let's do it.
Let's make it happen this summer. Gerry Ricken, before we get out of here, take us home.
Every day is a holiday. Life is short. Laugh hard.
This has been Kicking with the Rickens, Redefining Retirement.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Ricken Financial LLC. Ricken Financial LLC is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Ricken Financial LLC are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Ricken Financial LLC is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Ricken Financial LLC.
Please remember that converting an employer plan account to a Roth IRA is a taxable event. Increased taxable income from the Roth IRA conversion may have several consequences. Be sure to consult with a qualified tax advisor before making any decisions regarding your IRA.
Tax preparation and tax advisory services are offered through Ricken Financial. These services are not offered by IPW and are not subject to investment advisor requirements. These services referenced are an outside business activity not offered through or supervised by IPW.